Thank you. Please have a seat. And so usually when there's a jury trial, we swear in the jurors. We find out a little bit more about them before we actually make the jurors. And then you have to raise your right hand. Raise your right hand. Promise to give us a true verdict.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Who's doing the opening? Okay, Jonas.
Thank you, jury and judge.
And you're welcome to step around here if you need to, okay, so that you can actually talk to them and they can see you if you'd like.
Thank you for coming. And we know we're all missing activities for this, but we are missing them for an important reason, to specifically charge Dominique Stevens with murder in the first degree, which is usually out of anger and premeditation, and they planned it basically. And Dominique Stevens was given multiple chances to get out of her situation, but how do we know she was in the situation? She had chances to go to a shelter, call the police, live with her brother, and he was fully able to take care of both her children and help her financially. She shot him in the back. Not once, not twice, but 3 times while he was sleeping. Self-defense usually means that you're being maybe confronted at the moment. He was sleeping, okay? And she said that she had to pry off the lock off the phone with a screwdriver. And that just leads me to the question, why didn't she do that earlier and maybe call the police? Or maybe she could have ran off with her brother, maybe. She did have multiple chances. And yeah, that is it.
All right, thank you. Opening for defense.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, thank you for presiding over this case today. Today, we are here to hear the case of Dominique Stevens, who was arrested for first-degree murder, even though she was defending herself and her children. Today, you will hear from Dominique about how her husband treated her and how her actions were justified. You will hear from an expert that Dominique did indeed have battered woman syndrome, and battered woman syndrome may have indeed led through the mental effects to think that her life was in imminent danger. We will also have her physician come and prove to you that she was indeed beaten. You will also hear from the officer that arrested her. I'm sure you will find him very questionable. I will cross-examine him. I believe that the jury must vote not guilty and not proceed and not participate in this ridiculous, heartless, evil, and sexist attempt to put a woman in jail for defending herself and her kids.
All right. Who would you like to call as your first witness? Prosecution.
It's Dominique Stevens.
Well, you don't get to call their witnesses, you have to call your witness. And you all know there's a privilege to not incriminate yourself.
Yeah.
Right? So in the prosecution, you could not call the defendant if you wanted to. Now, in this particular case, the defendant is going to testify, and they do have a right to cross-examine the defendant. But in their case in chief, they would never be allowed to contact or call the defendant to testify, okay? So who would you like to call as your first witness? Tony Williams? All right, if you don't mind having a seat right up here, please. Would you raise your right hand? Promise to tell the truth?
Yes.
All right. And I'm on, is there, you know what, Lennox, see if you can roll one of these podiums. Yeah, if you don't mind helping me. We just like turn this around so that, just like that, thank you. And maybe that's a little bit easier right there. All right? Yeah, the microphones aren't on. I'm not sure what's happening. Yeah, that's good, thank you.
Please say your name for the court.
Tony Williams.
What was your occupation during the year 2008?
I was the director of the New Columbia Women's Shelter
How long did you work at the shelter?
for 2 years.
How did you know the defendant?
She called our hotline.
What did she say?
She said that she had been beaten by her husband for their entire marriage, 5 years.
What did you do in response?
We brought her to our location.
Is the address of the shelter disclosed to the public?
No.
When you got back to the shelter, what did you do?
We gave her a place to sleep and food and water and childcare.
During the night that you both talked, what did you say?
She had been here at our shelter for 3 days, and after 3 days and women can only stay at the shelter for a maximum of 3 days. So I told her that she could go to a different shelter.
Was the other shelter's address also private and not disclosed to the public?
Yes.
Do most shelters provide free stay and necessities like food and childcare?
Yes.
So she could have stayed at the shelter free of charge.
The other shelter, yes.
Was the shelter clean safe?
Yes.
Is it true that you gave her an aptitude test during her stay?
Yes.
What were her results?
They were high.
Because she scored high on the aptitude test, did you tell you could help her find a job?
Yes.
What happened the morning Mrs. Williams was supposed to leave the shelter?
She informed me that everything was okay. Her husband had stopped drinking and she would return home and everything would be fine.
Had her mood changed?
Yes, she was happy.
What did she tell you? Did you try to talk her out of it?
Yes.
How did she leave the shelter?
She left by her car.
So she would have had a fairly good chance of living by herself without Don.
Yes.
No further questions, Your Honor?
All right, thank you. Cross-examination.
What's your name?
Tony Williams.
Where do you work?
Currently I am unemployed.
You're unemployed.
Yes.
Where did you work?
From 2007 to 2009 I was the director of the New Columbia Women's Shelter.
You worked there only 2 years.
Yes.
What was your position? Again?
I was the director.
Okay. How long did you work in the New Columbia Domestic Violence?
2
told you she was being abused.
Yes.
And she seemed like every other domestic, she seemed like every other abused woman.
Yes.
When you saw her, she was covered in bruises.
Yes.
She told you she was being abused.
Yes.
And she told her her husband had been threatened her.
Yes.
And you did not help. After 3 days, she left, and you did not help.
Yes.
And you did not report it to the police.
No.
That's all.
Redirect. Thanks, Eli, I appreciate the support. I did explain the process.
What happened in the morning Mrs. Williams was supposed to leave the shelter?
I'm not sure.
What happened the morning Mrs. Williams was supposed to leave the shelter?
This is
Stevens.
Stevens.
You're not allowed to talk to the jury.
Yes.
What did she tell you at the moment?
She said her husband had quit drinking and that everything would be fine when she got back home.
And you had tried to talk her out of doing it?
Yes.
You gave her the opportunity to stay in another shelter.
Yes.
And you also was going to find a job for her.
Yes.
So she would have had a fairly good chance of living by herself.
Yes.
Other questions?
All right, thank you. Thank you. Can you step down? Any other witnesses you'd like to call? Prosecution, who else would you like to call as witness? Who's the other lawyer? Okay, you're directing somebody. Okay, well, who would you like to call? I guess I'm going to be that person. I'm Dana Hughes. All right. Give me just a second. Dana Hughes. Did they come in? Ellie, you can do this? No? Okay.
Should have just given us so we can just start it.
You sure you want to do it? I'll show you how.
I think we did.
I'll show you how easy it is.
No, I know.
All right, listen from back there, all right? Okay. I promise to tell the truth.
Can you state your name for the jury?
I'm Dana Hughes.
What's your job?
I'm a detective with the Metropolitan Police Department in New Columbia.
How old are you?
58. I didn't know if I wanted to tell the truth.
What time did you get the call from Miss Steph?
It came in the evening, 10:30.
How many times did she shoot her in the back, or shoot him in the back?
Well, she shot him 3 times.
Well, what
What was the murder weapon?
It was a pistol.
And if she was doing self-defense, why did she shoot him 3 times while he was asleep?
Well, I can't tell you what she was thinking when she shot him, but I assume that when you shoot somebody 3 times, you intend to kill them.
Did anyone on that day hear gunshots?
Yeah, I think several people actually heard gunshots. Ms. Stevens heard the gunshots. She called us and reported that she had killed her husband.
What type of gun did she use?
It was a, I have a picture of it if you'd like to see it.
page.
9mm.
And those are all.
Or what? Cross? All right, Eli, I'm glad to see you.
So, did you ask her how she committed the murder?
I certainly did.
Are you sure? You only asked her if she understood that she was able to talk to a lawyer, and you only asked her, and you only asked her if she understood that she didn't have to answer any questions.
Well, you're using the word only like that's the only thing I did. But if I did both of those things, then I could have only done one. I only did a bunch of things, and one of the things I only did was I read her Miranda warnings to let her know that she had a right to an attorney, that she didn't have to say a word until she spoke to an attorney, and she waived that right. And then after that, I only asked her what she did and why she called us, and she told me.
You didn't ask her any questions about how the murder was committed, if she planned it. You didn't ask her any questions about that.
I did ask her.
You did?
I did.
It's not on here.
What's up? Not on where I'm not. I don't know what you're referring to.
The it's not on here.
On her, that's her statement.
No, this is the waiver of rights.
Yeah, she waived her rights, and then she wrote out that statement as to what happened. The only reason that she waived her rights is because I asked her if she wanted to waive her rights, and she agreed to in writing. And then I asked her what happened to write it down, and she wrote it down. And then she signed the statement, so I asked her what happened.
She didn't write it down in her affidavit. It said that you wrote it up.
No, I gave her the opportunity to write it.
But in her affidavit, it said that you wrote it up.
Well, you'll have to ask her about that, but she actually wrote it up. I couldn't have wrote it up. I didn't know what happened. I had to ask her, and she told me what happened, and she told me she had killed her husband, and she had shot him 3 times while he was asleep.
Okay, that's all.
Read it right. To be fair, I'll try to play one of the rules for the other team too, okay?
There's limited record of her telling anyone that she was abused. Would you agree with that, Detective?
I don't think there was any record at all whatsoever that she ever reported any abuse.
And Dominique said when Jordan Bright received a call from her saying that her husband came back drunk again, and at 10:32 a call was received to a 911 dispatcher from Miss Stevens saying, "I shot my husband." So this means she was planning on killing him in some way, like killing him?
Well, it certainly looked like she had planned it, okay, because she waited for him to fall asleep. Then she went to the locked cabinet. She took out the gun. She went back upstairs, realized that he was sleeping, shot him 3 times. So it sure did look like she was planning on it. All right, thank you. Am I the other witness too? Is somebody else a witness? There's 3 witnesses. Who's your 3rd witness? Jordan Bright? Who's Jordan Bright? Okay, that's you, all right. Calling Jordan Bright, raise your right hand. Promise to tell the truth? All right. See Elliot? All right. You want to go up, stand down and play detective? No? Go ahead.
We don't have a lawyer.
Oh, I can see. I'm a lawyer? All right. Mr. Bright, would you please introduce yourself for the jury?
I am Jordan Bright. I am a teller at Washington Saving Bank.
Thank you, you can have a seat. All right, you comfortable?
Yeah.
Yeah? So you work at Washington Savings Bank, is that right?
Yes.
And you're related to Ms. Stevens.
Yes.
And how are you related to her?
I have a brother.
All right. How old are you?
28.
Are you familiar with Mr. Stevens?
Yes.
Okay, who was Mr. Stevens?
He is her wife, or her husband.
He was her husband, right?
Yeah.
You know that she killed him, isn't that correct? Do you know how she killed him?
Shot him through back.
Did she tell you that?
No.
How did you learn that she had killed Mr. Stevens?
The police told me.
Well, weren't you actually there on the night it happened?
Yes.
How did you get there?
My sister called me saying that her husband came back drunk again, so I knew something was going to happen.
You knew something was going to happen?
Like something bad.
You thought something bad was going to happen because she had called you before she had actually killed Mr. Stevens?
And she sounded upset and angry.
She sounded upset and angry. What did she say to you that made you think that she was angry?
Donovan came back drunk again.
Had she ever complained to you about Donovan abusing her, Mr. Stevens abusing her?
Yes.
Okay. Did she ever say why?
No.
Did you believe her?
I thought it was normal for a husband and wife to argue, but I didn't know that they would that.
So after she had complained that her husband was abusing you, you were left with the impression that it was just normal?
Yes.
Okay. What left you with that impression?
Most husbands and wives seem like they do that.
So it's normal in families that families argue.
Yes.
Okay. In your own family, do you argue?
Yes.
Okay. Have you seen other families and they argue?
Yes.
Okay. And the relationship that she had with Mr. Stevens, that seemed normal to you?
Not really. Or yes.
It did seem normal? Okay. So when you showed up at the scene of on the night that Mr. Stevens was killed by Ms. Stevens, what did you do?
I told them that I would take them to show.
Did you do anything else? In your statement, you said something like that Ms. Stevens, Dominique, your sister, told you, I have to fix things now while he's asleep. This is my chance. Do you remember her saying that to you?
Yes.
Okay. What did you think? What did you take that to mean?
She's probably gonna do something really bad to him. Maybe leave him and kill him. Something like that.
So it crossed your mind that she might actually kill him? No further questions.
I'm Jordan Bright.
How did you get the impression that it was only arguing, not actual abuse?
It just seemed normal for me because I am divorced and we were just arguing. And I never hit my ex-wife.
aware that your sister had been sent to the hospital 11 times?
No.
So, what also gave you the impression that she was gonna kill him?
She sounded very upset and angry that he came back drunk again. She said, I'm gonna fix it.
So, how did you not know she was just gonna say something actually just talked to him? She actually said that she was gonna shoot him.
Because then she would probably. Can you please say it again?
So, if you got the impression that she was gonna kill him, did you know, how do you have proof that she was actually gonna kill him? Did she actually say to you, I'm gonna kill him, or did she just say, I'm gonna fix this?
She just said, I'm gonna fix it.
So how did you not know she was just gonna talk to him?
She seemed very upset that she wanted to either run away, tell somebody, or
Other questions?
Did you think she had to kill him?
no.
Did she have other options?
Yes.
What were the other options?
She could have went to the shelter, she could have ran away, or she could have came and lived with me because I gave her an option.
You asked her if she'd come live with you?
Yes.
Would it have been okay if the kids came too?
Yes. I made enough money.
So you could have taken care of her and the kids?
Yes.
Did she say anything about living with you or not wanting to live with you?
No, she just said that she couldn't.
Did she explain why she couldn't?
No.
Would it have been an easy thing for her to do to just come move in with you?
Yes.
No further questions. What? So you guys don't have any witnesses, is that right? Okay. Defense, who would you like to call as your first witness? I'm sorry. Okay. Talk to class.
Dr. Bobby Phoenix.
Who was in the class? Who was in the Okay. Would you raise your right hand? Promise to tell the truth.
Yes.
Go ahead. I have to do it from back here because I'm going to cross him, so. He's already felt the cross in class, so I think he's a little prepared for it.
So, what's your name?
Dr. Martinez,
Where are you employed?
the National Center for Women's Studies,
Okay. Where did you study battered women syndrome?
at Georgetown University.
Okay. How long did you study battered women?
19 years.
Did Dominique show signs of battered women syndrome?
Yes.
Is he an expert?
You're tendering him as an expert?
Uh-huh.
Any objections? No, he'll be accepted as an expert in that area.
Okay. So what's your opinion? Was Dominique's battered woman syndrome severe?
Yes. Very severe.
Would the mental effects from battered woman syndrome make her feel like her life's in danger?
Yes. It is called learned helplessness.
Okay. So, my partner didn't ask her brother any questions, but in his affidavit it says $425 a week. Do you think that amount is good enough to support an adult and 2 toddlers?
No.
Okay. Thank you.
Dr. Phoenix, correct?
Yes.
Let's get the money out of the way in the very beginning. You're getting paid to be here today, isn't that correct?
Yes.
And it's a pretty substantial fee, isn't it?
Yes.
You typically get paid about $1,500 to testify?
Yes, sir.
Now, what did you do in order to prepare for today's hearing?
I did a case study. I studied the case after her husband's death.
When you say it's a case study, what does that mean?
I essentially looked at how she was doing and her mental state.
Did you have the opportunity to meet her?
Yes.
Okay. And you only met with her for just 1 hour, isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
So you're telling the jury that you got to know Ms. Stevens well enough after an hour to be able to come in here and give us an opinion about her situation.
Yes, sir.
Did you review any other records?
Yes.
What other records did you review?
I reviewed some of them that stated that Mrs. Stevens was sent to the hospital 11 times.
Okay. So in all those records that you reviewed, in not one record did Ms. Stevens ever say that she was abused by her husband. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
In fact, every time she went to the hospital, the reason that she went to the hospital was given to the physicians. Isn't that true?
Yes, sir.
And not one of those reasons included being abused by her husband. Isn't that right?
Yes.
In fact, every time she went to the hospital or was treated by a physician, her reason was that she had fallen, she had hurt herself in some other way. It was all accidental. Isn't that correct? There was not one mention at all ever to any physician, to any police officer, to any person of authority that her husband had actually abused her. Isn't that correct?
Yes.
So after reviewing all these medical records, where at no point in time did she say that it was her husband that did it, you nevertheless came to the conclusion that her husband had abused her? Yes or no?
No.
You didn't come to that conclusion?
No.
You didn't come to the conclusion. So you're confused about whether or not you don't know whether or not her husband did it, right?
Well, okay. Let's get this straight.
Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get it straight. All right? And the question that I'm asking you is, right now as you sit, you appear to me to be confused about whether or not her husband actually did it.
No.
You're not confused?
I had talked to her for about an hour.
Well, let me ask that question first.
Yes.
You're not confused or you are confused?
I know.
You're not confused.
Just had to restate the question.
Okay, let me restate it, because I don't mind being